All right, this is for George Brad, and it's his initial concept here for the first of the year. It's like an Aztec Golem. Uh, so I think you've got some interesting. It's an interesting design. There are some things that you want to really pay attention to. Um, the first thing I would say right off the bat is let me just grab a smaller brush here. And there we go. Okay, so the first thing that I would say right off the bat is that this hand feels awkward. Because if you look at this hand, it is basically a block. So we're just going to block this out here with a rounded curve and blocked out like this. But this hand feels very flat. So what you want to do is, and also look at how you're developing this hand. Like it feels almost like a fold here. If you would have angled this thumb, I think it would have made a little bit more interesting design. Same thing here. You've got this thumb coming like so, but the design is wrong. You want to probably, let's block this out a little bit more like so, and then think about your design here. Um, and angle the block itself a little bit more, and then as well think about the depth here. So you've got all this depth. You want to probably drop these down, these fingers down a little bit more, especially this one over here, because it feels like it's kind of pointing out like that. It just doesn't have that right arc. And I understand what you did, why you did it, but it doesn't feel right. So you want to readjust this whole hand here. Um, Other than that, the design is pretty decent. I know it's a quick design, but one of the things that I would do is you're doing kind of this flash photography up front. So you've got a strong light source up front. What I would do is angle that strong light source up on the top. And so you've got this nice stone brick here, and we're just going to grab this one here. So you've got this nice stone brick here, and if you angle it up on top, you will get more of your upper patterning here. I think that's going to kind of show a little bit more, and I'm just going to really quickly paint some of this stuff in there like so. And then on top of here, you're going to get that kind of shadowing up here too. And this way you get more of a natural sunlight, but you've got kind of light going all over the place. Looking at it, you've got a little bit of light going on from the front. It's coming front like so, but then you've also got sides and sides, and there's none from the top, but yet you've got it from the top over here. So you want to get that consistent light source going on. So what I would say is, by doing this, by adding in that thickness like so, and I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. By adding in that thickness like so, you can see how just something as simple as this, now I'm just going to block this out here. Let's block this out here. And you can start seeing how some of this can now start popping out a little bit more. Especially different areas where you want that shadow information going on. And then what I would do is you can darken the bottom and really kind of push, like create like a cast shadow, and it's just going to be much more subtle, much more, and it's going to define your work in here, as far as you can see already, just kind of how much more interesting that pattern sticks out. And sides here like so. And then the other thing I would say is that you really want to, you've got this grass coming all over, and I'm just going to start a new layer here or start a thing for this grass. But you've got grass growing out of the top here, which is fine. and then you've got grass growing on the bottom, but there's no grass really anywhere else. And I think by simply taking that vine system and kind of winding it, and maybe even like, we've got this nice curl up here, and it would be perfect opportunity to kind of grow grass like so, and maybe we've got some vines hanging um, and swinging like this, and I'm just kind of painting the roughs in here, but getting that type of thing going on, maybe a leaf here or there, is really, I think, going to help out your initial concept. Um, you know, by putting in more of these vines in the different spots. Maybe he has a big vine, like, let's grab this. Maybe he has a big vine coming across here, and it's more of like the root, not the vine. Maybe it comes back down over here, and that starts connecting some of it. And with that, then you can, add smaller pieces and just add little bits and pieces to it to basically get, and you can see how that starts separating or starts combining that element together. So I'd really take a look at that and push it in that direction. I think that's a key point. And then watch out on silhouette too. You've got a nice start, but something simple is just, do you see how by just cutting in that silhouette just a hair, that one's a little bit darker, so it brings out that silhouette a little bit more. So beware, push that silhouette a little bit more. And like even here, I would up that, and do you see how just by doing that, just by upping that kind of, it gives them a little bit more oomph to the emphasis. And same thing over here, just kind of, breaking apart that. Let's break this down here. You can see how it starts breaking out and making the silhouette much more complex and more interesting. All right, so I think those are just different things that I would kind of tell you to kind of work towards in your next picture. All right, hope that helps.